everyone, my name is Popo. I'm in KVCC Culinary Artist program. I'm making Chinese meat pie today. The first step, I will make my magic juicy. And in this one, I'm gonna use some of about 2 of the bay leaves and some of this and black pepper. I have some garlic, ginger, and the green onions in. You know the Chinese meat pie is very famous in China, and I started to eat it when I was around 2 or 3 years old. I think this is my favorite food. And while the water is on the stove, and I start to make the dough for it. I'm using the dough attachment and with the mixer. This is a 1 pound of all-purpose flour, and I can make about 10 of the Chinese meat pie, but it actually depends on the size of the meat pie. If you want to make bigger ones like the pizza, you also can do that. But if you want to make the bigger ones, then maybe only 1 or 2. But I'm gonna make the small one today. This is the driest. Okay, I will put the speed around medium, and to mix the all-purpose flour and the yeast first. Then this is the warm water. Put the water in very slowly. 1 pound of the flour, and I'll put about 1.5 cups of water. Sometimes you may see the dough is too white or too dry. If it's too white, you can add a little bit more flour. If it's too dry, just add a little bit more water. Okay, I think that's the perfect dough I want. Okay. You can see the dough. It looks a little bit white, but we need that kind of soft dough. So I will let the dough put it up there and let it dry for a while. You better put the plastic wraps on the top. Let's see, how's my water? This water is for I will mix with the meat, because this water can make the meat more different kind of flavors and make it more juicy. Okay, my dough is ready. I'll get part of my dough and put some flowers. Look, you can see my water. That's water is ready, it's boiling. So I'm gonna turn it off and let it cool. Okay, this is my dough. My mom taught me to make that, how to make this, because it's a very traditional food. And my mom always make this in the early morning. It's only take her about 30 minutes to make this. And I took them to school. I put in the container and then took it to school. Okay, we cut into the small pieces. You don't have to worry about the size because it's totally up to you. If you want to make the bigger ones, then you cut it bigger. If you want to make the small ones, cut it to small. Now I will teach you my mom's way to roll the wraps. One hand hold the dough and the other hand hold the roller, and then at the same time you turn it. When you turn the dough, you can see that the wraps, the center of the middle, the center of the wrap is a little bit thicker than the edge, but I love this kind of the wraps. Okay, I'm gonna make some of this. You will always need to put some more flowers to dry, because you know that our dough is a kind of white, it's not the dry dough, so we need extra flour, the dust. You can see and you can hear the bubbles. Just adjust the shape. Okay, I will leave it here. Then the next step, we're going to prepare for the meat. And the fillings, I use the ground pork, and I love to put some garlic and onions. The onions, we need to cut it, try to dice it, because we don't want too big chunks in the in the filling. We don't need a lot. I'm gonna use this part. I want a little. It's not a big amount. I just need a little from. And I have some garlic. I love ginger, but I don't like to, the ginger inside of the filling. So I'm gonna use some ginger, the ground ginger later. The onion make me cry. My mom told me wear the goggles. And we're gonna put some of the green onions. Okay, I'll put everything here. That's the. Give me 1 second to wipe the table. Now we can start to make the filling. This is 1 pound ground pork. I put the pork into a big clean bowl. Don't forget this piece of paper in it. And then to still remember my magic water, I will use the magic water to mix the meat. Do not put all the water in. You just mix a little by little. just like to make the meatball. I think that's a similar process. You will want all the water mixed very well with your meat. You can also use the mixer, but I prefer to just use hand. Okay, that's what I want. I mentioned I don't like the big chunk of the ginger, so I'm gonna use some the ground ginger. A little bit. All of those things you adjust by your own, because you know some people like salty things, some people like a strong flavor of the ginger, and I prefer just a little. I just put some soy sauce in. That's my favorite thing. And this is the sesame oil. Sesame oil smells so good. And the salt. We have the we have the onions and the green onions. We mix, and don't forget the garlic. We're gonna mix all of them together. Also, I'm gonna use my hand. It smells so good. And then after that, it's time to make our pie. Our wrappers is here. And before that, you better put your have your pan on. I'll put a 5 medium. And mix it. Make sure mix them well. Use the spoon to get some on the wrap. Now I lift a little bit part this, and then just put them together. Put the edge of the wraps together. This is a very small one, right? Okay, I press it down. It's a tiny one for my baby. I'm gonna make a bigger one. Look, that's the bigger one with a lot of meat. If you don't press them down, you can put it in the pot and boil water. Then you have your own steam bun. But we're gonna make a pie together today. Okay, look, the size is totally up to you. Okay. Make sure your stove is on. Make one more. Okay, put it down. Very, very gentle. Just like a family, right? Dad and mom and the baby. So the size is totally up to you. I think there's a drop of water on the pot, so I need to make sure there's no water on. Then we put some oil. That's just the regular oil. Normally I will feel the temp of the oil by my hand just above the oil, but don't touch it. And you can also try to put a little bit of flour in, and then make sure, like where I see some bubblings. And then I put the meat pie in. I put the bottom side part first, and then this side, because this side I make something on it. Sometimes it may have some juicy things come outside, so that is okay. You can hear that. I think that's the most beautiful sounds in the world. The food sound is the most beautiful sound, right? In about 1 or 2 minutes, and then you can flip it over into the other side. I can feel that. The other side. Let me take a look. Not yet. Maybe 30 more seconds. Look, if you flip over right now, there's a little bit yellow, but not very, little bit brown, but not very brown. So we're gonna wait a few seconds. Look at this. This is the perfect color. Wow, smells so good. We're gonna cook each side at least 3 or 4 minutes and make sure the meat in the inside is well cooked. See how's our meat? Good. Okay, this is today's Chinese meat pie. You see our meat pie? It smells so good, and look, the color is so good, and it smells so good, and a lot of juicy inside. Hope you like it. Bye.